TM is we are finding TM.
We are finding TM with the knowledge of this. With the knowledge of delta Ui and delta G star as a function of temperature.
From this point of view to find TM.
First step is to find out this point. Then from this point you draw a tangent on this curve. Wherever it touches, that will be your TM, because this plus this divided by this length will be your slope. That is that one. At t equal to Tm, that is that. Okay? So graphically you can find out the temperature at which nucleation rate becomes maximum if you know how your activation barrier for nucleation delta G star varies with temperature, that curve, and if you know your delta Ui value prior hand. Now the question is how to know experimentally these values delta Ui or delta G star. That also there is graphical method that we will discuss now. So this method is for finding out Tm with the prior knowledge of delta G star as a function of temperature and delta Ui value. The next graphical method I am going to talk about how to find out delta G star and Ui, delta Ui. So in the cases where your nucleation rate, initial nucleation rate determines the transformation rate. For cases where growth rate is very fast, your overall transformation rate is equal to initial nucleation rate. In those cases, your transformation rate will vary with temperature in the same way your nucleation rate was varying with temperature. That is, at high temperature it will be low, at certain intermediate temperature it will be maximum, at low temperature it will be low. And so at very close to transformation temperature, the time required, because the transformation rate is low, time required for a particular transformation will be huge. At very low temperature also time required will be very high. At an intermediate temperature, time required for a fraction transform will be less, and at a particular temperature it will be least. So we will get a C type of curve in the PTT diagram. Now if we in place of what is TTT diagram, what we draw in the y-axis, we draw temperature.
Y is temperature.
And x-axis log time in log scale. So instead of that, if we draw the reciprocal of temperature in the y-axis, the curve will look like, say, reciprocal temperature is going this way. That means what is the temperature? The temperature is going down this way.
Going up.
So say your T equal to TE, this temperature. And your x-axis is say ln Ty. T at for a particular fraction transform. This T alpha is for a particular fraction transform log time. The C curve of T versus ln T will look like this in 1 by T versus ln T plot. If you plot, the same C curve will look like this, where it will be asymptotic to that line and it will be kind of a linear part, straight line with a particular slope, when you go down the temperature.
कम ऊपर भी कम हो जाएगा।
So fraction transform, for the case where transformation rate is given by the nucleation rate, where growth rate is very fast, in those cases fraction transform, time required to transform a particular fraction will be inversely proportional to the transformation rate, that is in general, and for the cases where nucleation rate equal to transformation rate, then it will be inversely proportional to the nucleation rate. Time required for a particular fraction transform should be inversely proportional to your nucleation rate, and your nucleation rate equation is given by this. So ln T alpha will be given by ln A or some other constant, ln A dash. Oh, a to the power minus 1. So it will be minus. ক্লাসে আছে ডিগ্রি দেখতে পাবেন আমার তো দুটোর পর থেকে পাবেন ক্লাসে আছে। ln T alpha will be proportional to, inversely proportional to ln I. So some constant minus of that, and this one. So if you take b ln, if you take a derivative with respect to 1 over T, reciprocal temperature, then what it will be? You in previous class, if I have written delta ui as ui, so you know that delta ui and ui is same. It's the activation energy variable. The notation, if I have done any mistake, if I have not been consistent, keep it consistent. Okay.
delta ui का delta G star by kb.
Delta ui
Plus delta G star by kb.
plus delta G star
By kb.
by kb. Anything else?
Plus del of delta G star del of d1 by t. Del of del G star by del of 1 by t.
Now at very low temperature, your delta ui value is, sorry, at very low temperature, as you go down the temperature, your activation barrier for nucleation comes down. Delta G star will be at very low temperature. Delta G star equal to 0. At very low temperature, delta G star equal to 0. That means at low temperature, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, your del ln T alpha, then 1 over temperature should be equal to delta ui over kb at low temperature, where that means at low temperature your 1 over temperature is going this way, so low temperature is this side. At low temperature your slope of this is equal to a term which is not a function of temperature. So slope is constant. That's why this part is linear. That's why this part is linear at low temperature. If I could draw a straight line. So this slope at low temperature, the curve is linear with the slope is tan theta equal to delta ui over kb. So from this slope, if you know the transformation rate for a particular fraction transformed, if you can find a, if you have this curve for a fraction transform, you just instead of from a TTT curve, you just draw it in terms of reciprocal temperature, and at the lower temperature from the linear part you find out this slope, and from that slope you can find delta ui, and that delta ui you can use here to find out Tm. How to find delta G star at a particular temperature from this curve? What is the equation for this at low temperature? Equation for of this curve at low temperature? Equation for that curve will be ln T alpha. So this will be 0. At low temperature, your the equation for this linear part is ln T alpha equal to minus ln A dash plus this one. This is 0. So this line equation for this line is ln P alpha equal to minus ln A dash plus delta ui over kbt. And equation of this graph is ln P alpha equal to minus ln A dash plus delta ui over kt plus delta G star over kt. So at a particular temperature, say this temperature, this curve minus this curve, which is this distance, delta ln T alpha. So delta ln T alpha will be equal to this equation minus this equation. That will be equal to delta G star over kbt. So delta G star equal to kb T multiplied by delta ln T alpha. At any temperature, at a particular temperature, you measure this distance delta ln T alpha. From that you will get delta G star. So you repeat that over different temperatures. You will get how delta G star varies with temperature, this white curve. So this you can get delta ui from that. Then from this, you first find out on this where is delta ui from 0 towards negative. Then draw a tangent on this curve from that point. That particular point where it will intersect or just be tangent of that curve will be your temperature where nucleation rate is maximum. One thing you note, your just your equation for nucleation rate contains this one. So So it is, your nucleation rate is dependent on delta GV by being within exponential term in minus of 1 over this. Now for continuous reaction, for continuous precipitation, meaning from a supersaturated solid solution, you are precipitating out. So your matrix is continuously, as diffusion is happening, as more and more precipitation is happening, your matrix is being depleted of supersaturation, being depleted of, your composition comes down continuously. As your matrix supersaturation comes down, your delta GV also comes down. For continuous transformation, or continuous transformation or precipitation, your delta GV comes down as your matrix supersaturation comes down, which is usually what happens once nucleation rate becomes steady state is when once steady state nucleation rate is achieved, it goes on. Okay, but in this case it goes on for discontinuous type of reaction where your matrix supersaturation or matrix composition remains unaffected. That means delta GV is not changing if you are holding at a particular temperature. But for continuous transformation, even if you are holding at a temperature, delta GV is a function of temperature. Even if you hold at a particular temperature, as matrix composition comes down, supersaturation comes down, delta GV is coming down. That means your nucleation rate also comes down. So what happens for continuous nucleation, continuous transformation is initially your steady state nucleation rate is achieved corresponding to whatever that temperature is, but very soon as the matrix supersaturation comes down, delta GV comes down, your nucleation rate very soon comes down. So it's kind of a burst of nucleation corresponding to the nucleation rate of that temperature. The steady state nucleation rate is achieved, but it quickly diminishes as the nucleation goes on. However, this is not the case for discontinuous transformation. Discontinuous transformation, until and unless that the product front, for example, you take Toy transformation, until and unless it sweeps over the part of the austenite phase, the austenite composition does not change. Whatever diffusion happens just in front of that so diffusion happens like this. So matrix supersaturation remains, so matrix composition remains same, does not get affected. So delta GT is not changing if you hold at a particular temperature. Then your nucleation, steady state nucleation rate remains for a longer time until the whole transformation is finished. So that's why you will see, if you see the nucleation of cementite out of ferrite, then it quickly goes to steady state, and then there is no nucleation, no further nucleation. Whereas if it is eutectite type of product, the nucleation keeps on going. Another thing you should know, that when you are coming from a high temperature solutionizing temperature quenching to a temperature where precipitation can happen, it takes a time, because just after quenching, the NC, that is the number of stable nuclei, corresponds to the equilibrium number of that high temperature. It has to rearrange, it has to be, some time is required for the lower temperature new equilibrium distribution of the embryos. That is the incubation time, and after that time, from that time to nucleation rate increases to the steady state value. So this total time is the incubation time. Now, say you are quenching to a temperature, for example, at a particular temperature till which you have quenched, say that is a temperature, say T3, corresponding critical nucleus size is, say, R3 star. So you are coming from solutionizing temperature to here, and corresponding at that temperature, low temperature, your critical nucleus size is this one. You have allowed some time for it to grow, and say it has grown to a size RA, which is greater than R3 star. Now you suddenly upquench to a temperature, another temperature, say T2. If this T2 will have corresponding critical nucleus size, if that R2 star is
greater than
say if RA is greater than that, then those nuclei will keep on growing. RA is the size of the precipitate that you have allowed it to grow after nucleation. You have allowed it, you have held it at T3 for certain time. So those nuclei whose critical nucleus size was this, it has grown to a size. Now you are upquenching, and at that temperature your new critical size is this one. If your particle size is above that, then it will keep on growing. But if it is below that, then those will dissolve that. Even though thermodynamically the product is stable, it will dissolve that, and it will need some more incubation time corresponding to that temperature to get to the equilibrium distribution, size distribution of the embryos. So this phenomenon is called reversion. So this phenomenon is called reversion or retrogression, where if your if you do upquench to a temperature where your critical nucleus size is greater than whatever the size of the precipitate was at that low temperature, then those precipitates will go back to solution and it will take some time. So this going back to the solution, even though that is thermodynamically stable, and it will take some incubation time to get to another size distribution corresponding to size distribution of the embryos, that is NC, or not NC, NR. At different size, what is the number of such embryos? So NR corresponding to this temperature, it will form, and then the steady state nucleation rate will start. So that incubation time is required. This going back to solution for the case, this one, this event is called this. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow.